What's up, guys? How's it going? Today, just to mix it up a little bit, I'm going to interview another fellow China YouTuber and good friend of mine who lives here in Wenzhou. His name is Johnny. If you haven't seen his channel before, it's going to be up here and I'll link it down below. He goes under the name Radio the Artist. What's up, guys? So here we are, and here's my boy Johnny. As I said before in my intro, Radio the Artist, and that goes for pretty much most of the platforms that he's on here. I think if you check him out on Instagram, Radio the Artist, YouTube, Radio the Artist, everything pretty much, Radio the Artist. Go check him out.
MySpace.
After this video.
Yeah. Friendster.
MySpace. Damn, that's so old.
Friendster.
Friend. What's it on? Friend party. Face party. Face party. If you remember that from back in the days. And MySpace, where you couldn't really.
I think I still can get on MySpace.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Johnny introduce his channel first, and then I'll introduce mine for Johnny's channel.
That's right. My name is Radio the Artist, and my YouTube channel is basically a combination of art that I'm doing, traveling, vlogging, and of course interviews and live streams of current events that I'm doing, and current events that I'm seeing, witnessing, watching, etc., etc. So yeah. So you better check it out.
You should go check it out. I thought I would like to ask Johnny about why did you come to China and what's your China story?
The reason why I came to China is because I wanted to travel. I wanted to see a different culture. I wanted to gain new experiences in a different country that I would have never experienced if I would just stayed at home. My China story is that I came to China in 2015. And it was an interesting experience, meeting all types of people and getting my luggage destroyed.
Destroyed?
Yeah, I came back with like one wheel missing out of my suitcase.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
That's not really savage.
Savage. Clothes flying everywhere, and
these things do honestly happen here in China. I'm sure we can, as the video goes on, we can digress into some hilarious stories. For me personally, my story was I was bored with life in England. It was kind of boring. It wasn't bad. In fact, it was pretty good, but I just wanted a change. So all of a sudden one day I decided, but hey, look, there's a job for China. I clicked on apply. I think they phoned me back the very next day. And then 2 weeks later, I'd packed up my entire life in England and just came here because I was working on the principle that I didn't want to not go and then regret it later. And 5 years later, coming up 5 years now, September the 29th this year will be my 5th China anniversary. I've never looked back. I've got married to a local here. I bought a house, got cars. I've had a baby. My life is here. I can't ever imagine going back to England either.
That's interesting. Like 5 years. Wow. Like in 5 years, like what kind of changes have you seen in the last 5 years? Like just when you first got here, what's the first thing you saw to like now? Like what are the changes?
Pretty good question. Everything. I'm sure you haven't been here quite as long as me, but you will know as well that everything changes. You can have your favorite restaurant, your favorite shop, and 1 year later, gone, because shops and businesses, because it's a developing country, they'll pop up very fast, and then they'll go very fast. As soon as there's something which is like very trendy at that particular time, be it like a brewery and microbreweries, or a certain theme bar or a certain type of food, it will pop up, it will ride that wave, and then when it's not popular, boom, it's gone. I've seen some very terrible restaurants rise and go, and I've seen some of my favorite ones rise and go. Even bars, all sorts of stuff. Like, the beauty of China is that it's literally changing so fast that you get to see this never-ending tide of change. I quite like it. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, when I first came to China, especially like paying things, I had to pay things with cash. I had to pay my rent and like my electric bill with cash. Now, I just send money through my phone and like pay things for like bus, taxis, just everything, and it's so convenient compared to the States where I have to like mail a check, and sometimes that check gets lost in the mail.
Yeah, that's the one thing I find as well. is literally I went back to England. I think I've been back twice in the 5 years because my parents come and visit here a lot, as my family come here a lot.
Yeah.
And when you go back, I don't know if it's the same with the States, but you find it's kind of archaic almost because you don't need to pay here, like Johnny just said, you don't need to pay with your bank card, you don't need to pay with cash. I lost my bank cards, both of them in fact. I lost my wallet like a year and a half ago, and I've never bothered getting them back again. I cancelled them, but I've never bothered them getting them back because I don't need to. Like, I pay for taxis, I pay for food, I get paid via my job, everything is on my phone. And you can go, you came in here, like this is the housing complex where I live, and over here just to our right hand side we've got a machine that sells milk and all sorts of like dairy products and from the local milk bar. You can get your dry cleaning, you just put it in the machine over here. You pay, it gets sent off, it gets done, it gets put back, they notify you, you go and scan, take it out, your deliveries are here.
It's crazy.
It's like this cashless society which you just don't need cash. If I ever do for one thing, which is, you know the one thing I need it for?
What?
If when I go to work and I drive and I park the car, they won't accept Alipay.
It's always like that. Sometimes
there's always one
no.
people, and so I have to literally I go to my colleagues and say, hey guys, if I send you 20 RMB on Alipay or WeChat, can you just give me the cash?
And it's weird because like even like when I travel to other countries, like for example, I always travel to Japan. I was recently in Japan. I was like, hey guys, can I pay? No Alipay.
I suppose we've got to go there, right? But like a funny story, a funny China story. You've got to have plenty because as a foreigner here, especially in a tier 3 city, if you go to a tier 1 city or tier 2 city like Hangzhou, Ningbo, Beijing, Hong Kong, anywhere like that, foreigners aren't really special because it's so international. But here, right, in a tier 3 city, even though this is a very developed tier 3 city, like foreigners are not that few and far between, right?
Okay, I got like maybe 2 or 3. I got lots, but maybe 1 or 2. The first one is when I first came to China. I was in a different city. When I first came to China, I was in, I forgot, it's near Jiangsu province. But
you weren't? I thought you came.
No, I was in another city just for a while. Then I came here. And I was getting out of my apartment to go to work, and there was these guys. I don't know, they're like workers. They were in a van, and they were driving by me. And literally, when they saw me, they stopped dead in the middle of the road, and cars were like almost hitting each other, and like bikes were going all over the place. And then like there was a jogger who also ran by, literally stopped dead middle of the street, stopped, looked at me, and said, "La what?" and ran. And second funny was not. Well, I think it's funny. I went to my first Chinese wedding. It was my first Chinese wedding. Like I guess if a foreigner gets invited to a Chinese wedding, it's like a special thing. I guess I don't know.
Maybe yeah.
And so while I was sitting at a table, there's this guy he was drunk, obviously, super drunk. He was just like, China, like just so nationalistic, waving the flag. And he walks to the table and he's like, Obama.
Wait a minute.
Obama. And everybody, and all the teachers, all the foreigners, like, no. Here we go again. 5 minutes later, he brings his whole family, his wife, his 3 children, his aunt, his great aunt, and I guess it was his father or grandpa, you would call it. And as I was taking the group photo with the family, which is probably on their fireplace now, shrine.
Obama.
Then like we met him. We met the great one.
As a foreigner here, especially, you get treated very, very well because, like, you get all manners of random jobs. I've been a pretend engineer in a BMW commercial. I've been in a beer commercial, which at the minute I plagued with messages from people on WeChat all the time. Hey, we were just on the BRT, the bus thing here. We saw you in a beer commercial, and I was like, yep, that was me.
I was watching. I was like, who's that white guy? That looks so familiar. It's Alex.
Yeah, in a beer commercial, so you get this crazy wide of like weird jobs that you would just never get. Like, you get basically, we got to drink beer all day, ride jet skis, hang out, and then still got paid several thousand for it, which is all great. And you get this quite often. You get weird, funny situations, because let's just say some of the older generation are not so PC is probably the easiest word, right?
Yep.
And I was actually with this guy here, Johnny, and we were out not far from here filming an old village, and a lady came out and she went, "Ah, 你是美国人?" And I was like, "No, like, are you American?" And I was like, "Nah, no, I'm English." And she went, "Oh." I said, "He's American," and she went, "Oh, no."
Yeah, I remember that.
Sorry, what?
She's like, no, no.
No, but he's black. He's American. He's from Africa. He's like, no. He's American. And it seems properly racist.
Yeah.
But a lot of the older generation here, because China was so sheltered from the rest of the world, they just don't understand. They kind of stereotype people into these kind of things, and it is racist, but it isn't in the same kind of sense because they're not educated. They didn't know. They didn't know. And when I said to her, no, he's actually from America, she just went, "I don't believe you," and walked inside.
And it's funny, I get that a lot too. I'm like, yeah, I'm from America. Like, they do that weird pause, like, and they stroke the chin.
There you go, guys. Sorry, you can see we're not outside anymore. My camera ran out of memory card space because I had it all in 4K, and Johnny's camera overheated. So we're doing this last little goodbye inside. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, I said it once again, like, subscribe, share both of our channels. Go check it out. Leave some comments. Any future collaborations you'd like to see from the both of us, stick it in the comments down below. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.